for Katie Chats here at the LISS Gallery in Yorkville in downtown Toronto with artist Richard Riverin. What inspired you to become an artist?
Well, what's your first name?
Katie.
Katie. Okay, Katie, I was born in Quebec City, and I grew up there, went to Sherbrooke University, became a chemist, and I started to work in a paint manufacturer in Shawinigan called Laurentide Paint. And there is where I started to look at colors, and I had some color matchers that were artists working with me. Eventually, Anthony Fernandez was a salesman, asked me to start a business in Montreal with him, and we started engineered coatings and chemicals. And after a few years in business, we were doing well, but it was not my field. I wanted to be in art galleries. I wanted to paint. I was called, and I told my partner, you know, if you buy my shares, I will buy an art gallery. And he said yes, and I bought one in a shopping center called Carrefour Laval. It was a commercial gallery. I wanted to transform it into a very high quality gallery. So I tried to recruit some artists. At that time, I was not really an artist yet. I recruited a few, but most of the good ones were already taken by other galleries. They were in exclusivity. So I got some Ron Davies, Jean-Paul Landry, Gabriel Bonmati, and the other ones, the great ones, I got them right from France, live French Impressionist artists. So my gallery became famous in a way, and at a certain time I took the risk of putting one of my paintings beside those great artists' artworks. I was a little shameful about it. I thought I didn't have their talent. But I sold that painting, and eventually I put some more, and that's how my career started.
After you were born in Quebec City, but then you grew up in a small town, which your family moved to. Yeah. How did living in that small town influence your artwork?
Well, in that small town, that was Latuque, the north of Montreal, I was very sick. I couldn't really do sports. So everything that I could do, almost the only thing I could do is to read books. My father loved art and music. We had some art books. I was at that time interested. My mother had also a great talent as a drawer. So that was the influence when I was younger, yes.
And tell me a little bit about your painting technique. You use so many gorgeous colors. How do you use the palette and use your brushes?
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's get back to when I started my career. I was painting with a brush and oil, and I was going nowhere. I was just an average Joe in a sea of average Joes. The only way for me to be known was to create a new style, a new technique. In this painting here, you will see that the texture is very unique. If you can zoom on the painting, you will see the texture on the close-up. To get that texture, I had to create a new kind of paint. And I did it. And then I started to develop my palette knife technique. So at that moment, my career took a turn for the best. And then, yet, I thought, you know what? If I do, let's say, 50 paintings a year, one or two galleries can sell all of them, and I will never be known. I have to become faster. I have to produce. And I started to paint for long hours every day, and eventually now I'm doing about 5 to 7 paintings a week. And I got into the States, and this is difficult for a Canadian artist. I tell you, it's very difficult. But right now, my art is sold in about 20 art galleries all across the United States, in addition to Toronto and Montreal. And Toronto has been a very good town for me. I got many clients here. People have been very nice to me and enjoy being shown in this gallery. LISS Gallery is a very good gallery.
And when you're painting, what kind of mood are you in? Are you happy or are you frantic? What's that like?
Well, when I paint, like, let's see this painting here, for example, I start from the top. I start from the top of the painting, And as I go down, I have an idea at the beginning, but I change my mind. I put some colors and suddenly, whoop, I see something else, and the painting change, and at the end, I often end up with a painting that I did not expect to do before. And that's the charm of an impressionistic painting, is that you have to do it in movement, impetuous movement. It's almost like you let go. I listen to classical music, strong music, and it seems to get into the painting. And at the end, I get something, the painting that has a rare mix of color exuberance and serenity. And serenity has to be there. It's very important to me that people can relax when they look at one of my paintings. Yeah.
And what are you working on right now? What do you have coming up next?
Well, I tell you what, right now, the last two paintings I did are on, one is in the window, one is on this wall. But I never know in advance what I will do. I sit in front of a blank canvas, and I take a pencil, do a few sketches, change it. Then I prepare 4 large pans of paint. In one there is a basic colors, and the others are all mix of colors. So I have all the color harmony is already in the pan. I know that painting will look good when I finish it, but I don't know yet how I will do it. I start at the top, and I paint that quickly, you know. And I am a messy artist because I paint, you know. I got paint on my toes through the rope of my rope sandals. You know, but where my studio is in United States in South Carolina, and the Americans don't know I'm swearing sometimes. They just know that something happened.
And you've also written 3 books. Tell me a little bit about where we can find out more information on the books and what we can expect to find out in these novels.
Can I show you the book there? Yeah, yes. Just a moment.
Okay, yeah. We'll grab.
And then the novel also.
And the novel on the table too. Perfect. So here, do you want me to hold one?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, you got it.
So this one here is one of my 3 hardcover art books showing 150 paintings in each one. And there are some short stories at the beginning and at the end, because I write short stories. And this is one of my novels, which is the 3rd book of a trilogy called Gamma 2, an Afterlife Story. And this is the return of the emissaries. So there is it's a trilogy where the action starts on Earth. In fact, it starts in Naples, Florida. But all the characters, we are all killed. But we have an afterlife, exciting afterlife, odyssey waiting for us. So we are some kind of resurrected by the guardian in young adult bodies, and we have a mission that will decide the fate of mankind. It's an interesting story, spanning 3 books.
And where is the best place to find out more information on you and on your books online?
Well, online I have a website that is, if you click my name in Google, Richard Riverin, you will, that's Riverin here. So if you click my name, you will find my website. My website name is La Belle Image, and you have a lot of my short stories there, in addition to recent paintings. So it's an interesting website.
Well, thank you so much, Richard. It's my pleasure to have interviewed you, and best of luck with your paintings and all of your writing in the future.
Thank you so much. You're very charming.
Oh, thank you. I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats here at the LISS Gallery in downtown Toronto.
Okay, so let's talk about this painting here. When I started that painting, I started on the left corner and I decided to do some red foliage. But at the same time, when I got here, I did the sky because all the colors has to somehow melt together. There must be, everything has to be done at the same time, wet on wet, because there's only one layer. So when I came down here, I did the trunk of the tree. I used my palette knife and I cut through the wet paint. You see, like that, it's part of my technique. So at one point, I was tired. There was a straight line here, and I stopped. Next day, I started from there downward, and I did not do any touch-up on what I was done already, because if I do a touch-up, I will lose the spontaneity, the look of spontaneity that people love. It will look like a touch-up painting, which I don't want. So everything is there. If it doesn't look good, the painting goes into a dumpster. I will pass the knife into it. But if it looks good, okay, I go downward. So as I went downward, I did the water and the tree at the same time, some of the foliage here. And I came about here, and I was tired again. So I stopped. Then I did the rest of it. But when I did the rest, I didn't know I would do those dark colors. This came on the spur of the moment. It saved my painting because at that point, I thought, well, doesn't look so good. And then finally, I got the inspiration and I did the dark lines here. And suddenly the painting got some punch. And I love it. So, oh my God, it's beautiful. I was very happy. Because people have to know, yeah. She is my wife. Yeah, she is lovely. But she doesn't want to be famous or whatever, to be in the television. But she is the one that criticized my paintings. And you know what? As an artist, you need that. You don't want somebody that only say positive things. She tells me as it is. I don't like that part. Okay, good. I learned something. And she has a good eye. 43 years. Yeah. And I am in love. Yeah, 43 years with her. Yeah.
That one, but this one's in a book. Yes.
Yes. This is the love of my life. My art critic, my companion, lifetime companion. And without her, I would have not succeeded as well as I did.